We're in a breaking severe weather situation right now. Heavy rains have badly flooded our roads out, leaving a lot of them impassable this noon.
Sidewalks and walkways wiped out, many covered in pools of water, even a bridge on a private drive collapsing with the heavy rain. We have all the street closures scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
It is officially the wettest April ever in Grand Rapids, with nearly 9 inches of rainfall in the last 18 days. We have crews all over western Michigan covering this today. We also have team weather coverage this noon. Terry DeBoer standing by in studio. First, we want to send things over to the 24-hour tracking center with Matt Kirkwood. Matt?
Guys, where do I begin? What an incredible day. Already we've seen record amounts of rainfall for the wettest April ever, and we're only halfway through the 18th day of the month. Just absolutely astonishing. Obviously, flooding issues is one of the primary things we're dealing with right now. So with that in mind, let's take a look at Storm Track Live radar. I think a little bit of a silver lining here. I think the heaviest of the rain is essentially over. You can see one batch of thunderstorms quickly moving to the north and east out of the Grand Rapids area, and that's up around Big Rapids and also Mount Pleasant. I want to broaden the view a little bit to look upstream, because a lot of the weather that we've received has been coming from upstream. Areas like Chicago who have received essentially a half a foot of rain, they've also had to deal with flooding issues as well. So looking off to the southwest, I'm going to put this in a looping mode, and you kind of get a sense of the direction of these radar echoes, or which way the rain is essentially moving. Now we're waiting for a warm front to move through and an area of low pressure. So I think this area of rain back in the central Illinois towards the Davenport, Iowa area, Peoria, that is still going to move through as well, along with this line. So we're not done with the rain yet, unfortunately, but at least the heavy rain, I think, is done for now. Now we have to shift our attention to the severe weather, and still the Storm Prediction Center has much of our viewing area, central and southern lower Michigan, and in at least a slight risk area. And you can see what sticks out like a bullseye is that moderate risk from about the Niles area, Dowagiac, right up to around Plainwell, the Charlotte area, and points to the south. And that's where we really the greatest threat of receiving severe weather. But I tell you what, it's a little iffy right now in the Grand Rapids area. I think areas to the southeast of Grand Rapids really have the greatest threat of picking up severe weather. We're still waiting for that warm front to move through. So this is what we can expect. This is kind of wild. Take a look at these temperatures. Right now, currently here across the area. Let me scroll down a little bit, and you can essentially see what's going on. It's 48 degrees right now in Big Rapids, 72 degrees Battle Creek, 71 Kalamazoo. It doesn't take a genius to figure out where that warm front is. Will the warm air get here in I-96? That's the big question. Usually warm fronts have a very difficult time moving farther north than where the heavy rain axis has been. So it's a little iffy if that warm air gets here in Grand Rapids. Here's a look at today's day planner. If it does, we'll be right around 70 degrees. Certainly south of Grand Rapids, that will be the case. Much colder to the north, but again, heavier rain is over here in the Grand Rapids area, at least for now. But it's already left behind a major problem. That's why we have numerous flood warnings and also watches out there as well. So we're going to now sending over to Terry DeBoer. She is going to concentrate on the worst of the flooding situation. Who really picked up the most rain?
Well, that's right. And you know, we are looking at areas across West Michigan, the entire region under an aerial flood warning, which basically means we're going to be looking at rapid water level rises, because remember, as the rain falls, it does take a while to work its way through the system, although those water level rises are going to be very rapid this time around because the ground is already super saturated after what has been such an incredibly wet month so far. But this is a look at a feature on our Storm Track Live radar scanner that allows us to put a calculation together to show you exactly how much rain the radar estimates has fallen. And this is just in the last 24 hours. A little less than an inch in Kalamazoo, a little more than a half inch around Coldwater, about an inch and a half or a little more than that around Hastings and Middleville, almost 3 inches along the lakeshore in the Saugatuck Douglas areas up toward Holland. So again, the bullseye here is areas to the west of US 131, out over Lake Michigan, also into southern Wisconsin and northern sections of Illinois. We've had some massive flooding going on. April rainfall so far today, the 13th day in a row with rainfall. The average rain today would be a little less than 2 inches. The previous record for the month of April, the entire month, a little less than 8.5 inches, and we've had more than 9 inches already this month, and we do have more rain to come in the days ahead. And we want to really remind you about the safety information, how important it is for you to know that flash flood flooding, which doesn't happen very often here in West Michigan, happens typically within 6 hours of either a major precipitation event or a rapid snow melt or an ice jam. And again, those water levels continuing to climb here. And remember, flash flooding, the #1 weather-related killer. More people die every year across the world of flash flooding than tornadoes and hurricanes combined. So, important information for you to remember. Never attempt to drive or walk through a flooded roadway. It only takes 2 feet of water to carry your car away. That's up to about your knees, can wash a car or a semi or a truck away. And again, remember the mantra, turn around, don't drown. If you see water over a road, make sure that you do not try to drive through it. And again, we're going to continue to monitor this through the rest of the day today.